when you boil your potatoes, right? To turn them into gnocchi, what are you putting them into, right? Liquid. What does the liquid do? It adds water content. So unless you're drying them out beautifully afterwards, the excessive amount of moisture content, kind of like with sweet potatoes, these were super wet. You don't need to add eggs or anything like that. It's just wet dough. But with that being said, if you bake them, you can release an excess amount of steam. With whole and cube, definitely too much moisture. Yeah. Just boiling in general. Bake them in the oven. And then when they come out, when they're like nice and tender, cut a line down the center of it. Press it so it allows steam to come out. And then while it's still hot, put it through a ricer or a food mill, and then make your dough while it's still warm. You don't let it cool down. That's the other part. You got to move while it's hot, kind of thing. Yeah. But try that next time. I'd be curious what you think. All right, we're at a boil. We're at a burl. I'm not going to put all of them in. I just want to do a tester just to make sure. Shit. I did not expect that. Why? What a dick. The moving while hot. With potatoes, always move while it's hot. Always move while it's hot, guys. Because you don't want those starches to set up. Because then when you start breaking them down, that's when it gets gluey. Not bluey. Okay? Not your kids' favorite television show, Bluey. No, it'll get. That's what it does. Like the starches, they cool, they solidify. You try to break them up. So the best thing to do with potatoes is always have things hot. So are you going to be mashing them? Great. Make sure your bowl is on top of the oven so that it gets like some of that residual heat. It's not like hot for you to handle, but it's still warm enough that when you put the potatoes in, it doesn't shock it down. The second part of that is making sure whatever cream or liquid you're going to put into that is also hot. And that's like the biggest thing. So that way when you mix it together, it's still good to go, right? And then you put it in a double bane, you keep it warm, do whatever you got to do, a steamer, whatever you're doing with that. But don't work while it's cold. You work while it's cold, you're not going to be stoked. It's going to be really gummy potatoes. It was really funny. Jess's mom called her and asked if she could ask me how to do the potatoes, and I was like, oh, like of course. And I explained just what I told you guys, and then later on, at Christmas, they're on the phone, and she had made the potatoes, and Jess's stepdad is in the background being like, I don't know what you told her to do with those potatoes, but those were the best potatoes she's ever made. And I was like, it was just the technique. It was just this technique. They always tasted good. They always tasted really good. It was just a technique. And now she's got that down. She's like, oh my God, what the fuck? Needs a little bit more bake time. And we're going to season this up a little bit more. Take it easy. You take it easy, Way. Bubbling and boiling. All right. Bubbling and boiling. We've got our first round of gnocchi in. Give it a little stir. All right. Excellent. Beautiful. So here's our next round of gnocchi that are going to go in after these are done. I feel like these are going to be a bit dense. And I don't know if that's just because of the amount of flour it took to fucking do this, or if it was just the fact that it's sweet potatoes. But I feel like in the future, I almost want to like cook the sweet potato down for two reasons. Oh, it's starting to rain. Yeah, get out of that. It's starting to rain out there, buddy. For two reasons. One, cooking off the excess moisture. Two, in cooking down the excess moisture, you're also intensifying the flavor of the sweet potato itself. So, not only are we going to not need to put as much flour in theory, and hypothesis, we are not only are we going to be able to cut down on the flour, that means we'll just have more of a concentrate sweet potato flavor. So I think in the future that's what I'll do. We'll like mash the shit out of it, right? And then we'll put it in a pan and just cook it down till it gets nice and dry. And then we can use that. And that's probably why it's easier for people just to get like, oh, sweet potato, like canned sweet potato or something like that if it's out there, you know, some sort of concentrate shit. And I no blame at all for people who do that. Like, yeah, I would probably just do that instead too. You know? Like if I was just doing a dinner for something like that like all the sweet potatoes I saw were shit, I would use canned. But not for like a super fancy dinner. I mean, if I was like cooking for my family or something like that, I'd be like, all right, we're gonna be doing a lot of food. We gotta make sure it's easy to go, you know? Because like the amount of gnocchi we're getting out of this, 3, 6, 9, 11, probably got the same amount on the other one. So it's like 22 pieces, 24 pieces, 22 to 24 pieces, depending on how you're cutting it. So if you had 4 people over, that would 24 would actually be really great, because you would think that's, you know, 6 per person. So you just load it up with the goodies and make it like a small dish we have before like anything else, you know, kind of like what we're doing here. My. Yeah, they're a bit dense. I'm not gonna lie. They're a bit dense, people. So these will need some work. And I think the cooking down of everything would be the best way. So you don't need to do that with regular potatoes, mind you, if you're making gnocchi with russets. You just like that's why I say the steaming method or the baking method is easier, because you're pulling out so much excess liquid. Because if you're putting anything else in there, like if the potatoes are, sometimes potatoes have different moisture content too when you get them. Like it's just one of those things. It can be a pain in the ass. And we used to do something back in the day. We never did it for gnocchi, but basically just a solid ratio for gnocchi, like amount of potato weight. If you had this amount of potato weight, you needed X amount of egg, X amount of this, you know what I mean? X amount of flour, X amount of salt. So it was just a moment of being like, all right, a normal recipe is 1,000 grams, 1 kilo. Yo, can you take a hit, bro? I could. I can take a hit because we smoke here. What, guys, we got 6 minutes until 4:20. But give me a second because I'm cooking off this gnocchi. I don't want to get too distracted. I'm already pretty stoned. What's your fave sweet potato? Been thinking salt and touch of cinnamon sugar. You know what I really like? Pancake is sweet potato fries like Cajun style. You know what I'm saying? So you get that. There's a, oh man, what is it called? I think it starts with a Z. In the South, there's this like Zappos or something like that. Zippos. There's a chip. There's like a kettle chip, and they have this like traditional seasoning, and that's really good. That's really good. I like that one a lot. Like on sweet potatoes. fries or whatever, you know? With a fat slab of, oh, see, I can't do that. I can't do that. Zaps. Thank you. Rusky Bro. There we go. That's what I was thinking of. Those are solid. Jess BU's work gets those, so she takes some home for me sometimes.
5 minutes until 4:20. 5 minutes.
5 minutes until 4:20, people.
4:20.
There we go. There we go. Yeah. I think the changes we're going to do these next time, because I like having sweet potatoes in-house because they're a nice alternative to potatoes in general. I need coffee stat. Get it. I need it. How long is the countdown for 420 usually? 5 minutes. No, it's, look, see the countdown? See the countdown right here? So it's a 420 countdown. That means it's 3 minutes and 50 seconds until 420. Now, there are different time zones, of course. So this one is in Newfoundland, and Newfoundland has a 30-minute marker. So it is 420 at our, like, 50, right? So I live on the West Coast, so it's 11:50 a.m. for me. But on the east, like in Newfoundland, it's almost 420. You dig? It's weird. Look it up. It's one of those things that I feel like not everybody knows about, and so this is like one of those funny like things people learn on my stream without really meaning to, because we have a 420 countdown timer. Which I'm not gonna lie, I fucking love. Stoners coming in and just like, I'm learning. So like 4:20 p.m. Or like a.m. a.m. p.m. I imagine it's that's probably p.m. or a.m. I don't fucking know, man. I haven't even vaped yet. Oh man. Do you vape or do you smoke flower? Or are you vaping flower? Are you just vaping flower? That's just flower. Yeah, just THC, got it. And it's almost noon. Okay, so you're on the West Coast. So you're on the West Coast like me. All right, here they are. They're honkers. They're honker chonkers. But you know what? I think they'll do fine. They'll do fine. It was a first good run. We know what we need to do differently. We'll cook down the puree. We'll cook down the whole thing. That'll be the best. We're going to save some of this liquid so we can use it in our sauce. There we go. But we certainly don't need all of it. And it's been cooked with. You don't really need it anymore. Do you like Seth Rogen? Seth Rogen's cool. Yeah, I raise money for his him and his wife's what is it? Their nonprofit all the time. Not because I know them and we're homies, but just because that's like a nonprofit that I actually believe in and enjoy. HFC. We've done a bunch for them. I think over my full tenure of streaming, not 10 years, but you know what I mean. I think I've raised. What have we raised, guys? I feel like it's been close to $10,000 for HFC. Toast them up real good. I mean, we're going to definitely saute them in the pan, that's for sure. In one time zone west, and it's 2:50 here. See, I know. That's what we were talking about, right? We were just like, what the hell? It's so strange. Yeah, we'll put them in some butter. We'll do oil, and then we'll put some butter in there. Throw in some sage leaves, and then we'll drop some. We'll drop some sage leaf, and then our marinated shallots in with that. And we got Jess's vegan butter, which actually I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's pretty good. The vegan butter actually does very well. I think it's just this one in particular, but it browns up. I'm very impressed by it. Yo, happy 420! Happy 420. Happy 420. Have you gave you anything back? That's a lot of money. Blue Nuts, if you got to ask why it's important not to ask that question when it comes to raising money for charity, you're not raising charity for the right reasons. You know what I'm saying? I switch it up. We do joints and bongs. Guys, happy 420. Happy 420. Yeah, don't raise money for groups if you're expecting something in return. You're doing it for a charity. That's the point. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. But that's not the point. That's not the point. That's kind of a cringe thing to ask. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Now, don't I have? I guess we don't. But like, I won't hold it against you. But like, just so you know, that's not why I raise money for it. In hopes that I get something in return. What I get in return is the satisfaction knowing that a cause that I believe in is getting notice and assistance. So that's why you do those things. If I did things all the time hoping I would get something in return, that'd just make me kind of a crummy person. Like, unless it was like actual work. Unless it was actual work. Like, if I was actually getting paid, then yeah, for sure. You know, that would be different. It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry, Rusky. Disengage. Disengage. All right, so here's what we have. We've got sage. We've got butter. And we've got some lovely stuff. And that's going to be delightful. That's going to be delightful. I think that's all we're going to do. Plenty of sage, plenty of butter. Let's get this pickled shallot out here. And that's our mise en place for that one. All right, boom, boom, boom. Hilarity for charity. That's what we're talking about. Not his weed company. Yeah. All right, boom. Done. Gorgeous. So here's all of our mise en place. Here's all of our mise en place. There we go. 2 orders of gnocchi. We got butter. We've got whey and the shallots. And then we've got sage. Easy peasy. So that's our first dish. Second dish. We've got a ricotta, bacon relish. We've got our rapini, and we've got a fried garlic and shallot. Now, it's a lot of greens and browns and whites. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else we could use that might be good. We do have some tomatoes. That would be good. That would be fine. So we'll do a couple little slicers when that comes time for that. You think there's a way to combine whey and aquafaba? To do what? What's the overall goal? Is it to make something foamy, or is it to do, like, what are you thinking? I'm going to turn these lights down just a touch. There we go. I think it was just a bit too bright. There we go. Yeah, it's still a little bit bright. If you're, like if you're avoiding waste. Oh, I see. I guess if you had both of those available, like if you had whey and aquafaba at your disposal at that point, but a lot of times I wouldn't be really sure why, you know. But yeah, I'm sure there's something. Not off the top of my head, but like if you were gonna do, I mean, yeah, because aquafaba, yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think on it. All right, so which one do we want to do first? We want to do the side dish and then we do the gnocchi? Let's do the side dish and then let's do the gnocchi. All right. So let's talk. Let's talk about it, eh? So, we've got our green, we've got our ricotta. This is basically rapini greens and parsley that we pureed with a little bit of olive oil. So here's what I'm thinking.